Hey, what's going on, Toy Canic fans and Crewmaru? Hope you enjoyed my little ring clap. It's something that I like doing. I wear two rings and then I like to do that for some reason. Anyways, wow, it has been a while since I've been on here. It was a really had a really bad week last week. My mom got put in the hospital from Monday to Saturday, and it was a really scary week. Things look better now, but it was a really scary week. So that was a fun part of being an adult right there. But knocked out some repairs yesterday. Is the first day that actually felt kind of close to getting back to normal. So figured I should try to get more back to normal and get some repairs going. Now I've had these for a minute now. My guy Darius, or as he's better known, D Amazing, sent me some of these to fix. I like every now and then I get the. He's basically like he. It's almost like he gives me a free rental with these figures. I mean, he doesn't give me everything with them, but if he's got a break, D's like the guy to go for all the Mezco stuff. So it's kind of cool to kind of see like the wear and tear that things can take, and then what it takes to repair them. So just a big shout out to D there. Not like he needs one, but known that man a very long time, and I appreciate that he still wants to use my services. But yeah, let's get to it. What's going on, Samurai Chris? How's it going? Moose, what's up? Moose, I have been. That's well. There we go. We're getting back to normality here. I picked kind of a hefty job tonight, and I'm hoping that I can fit in some sewing. That would be really cool. I am not a professional seamster, uh, sewer, upholster. I'm not. My mother and my grandfather are actually upholsters, but I am not. I have had a few good, successful, I guess, sewing jobs on these mezcos here. This is the simplest of the simple that I'm going to show you tonight. It's basically a thread. It's really all you need, maybe two, just to sew up a jacket and to re-sew the cuff here. But I'm also going to try to record a. I don't know if I'm thinking about recording a tutorial over this, but I can't tell if I should do one of these, I guess, live, and then maybe set up cameras specifically for another one, because I have to do more than one of these. Um, this one actually, I repaired the elbow on this one, I believe. I can't remember. I think it's got to be this elbow here. Yeah. So here's the problem. Yeah, you know what? I'm not gonna. Let's try it. Let's just try it. Let's just try it. I'm thinking about, like I said, shooting a tutorial at the same time I do this, so it might be worth it. I just have to kind of keep an eye on how long my video is running, because I'm gonna probably ramble tonight and try to remember that I'm on two cameras. Okay, so let's start completely fresh. Okay. So today, basically, I'm going to be showing you guys how to remove the jacket, cut the thread from the broken sleeve, and how to repair the elbow, of course, and then how to re-sew a thread here and one in the cuff. I am not, again, a professional at sewing, but this is my method, so hopefully it will work for y'all as well. Okay, so let's get into it. First off, what we got to do here is we got a jacket, right? Um, you cannot get this arm off through the jacket. This thing is broke, right? So even if you were to pull it all the way through using strength, and let's say you didn't rip any of the threading, um, you can't get this thing back on through here. It's not possible, man. You have to heat this up, and you don't want to be sitting there heating up your cloth, and I don't know, man. Maybe you could do it, maybe not. I would not suggest it. This is my method. If anybody knows of a different one, cool. But from what it looks like and what I've done in the past, there's no way to get around removing the jacket and then also the cuff, as you can see I've done here. you have to do this in order to get this arm off, and I'll show you why. So let's start by getting our, what I usually use is a razor blade. As long, this is what I cut with. This seems to work well for me. And what you want to do is you just want to find the thread that's here. And before I actually cut this this threading, I wanted to point this out. I'm not sure if you can see, but the thread goes into the underside of the jacket, basically where it's being sewn here, this little seam. It goes in. It never comes back out, and if it does, it has to be extremely hidden in some of the threading right here. So basically, you don't even have to go all the way through here. You can just kind of catch the under flap, I guess I would call it, where it's been folded over, and you can just sew up into that, go around, and just tie a little knot off in the end. And I'll show you how to do that. But yeah, first off, what we need to do is we need to cut the threading. So I always come in and I just generally, like, I have a new razor here, so I just kind of slightly give the jacket a pull. And there we go. And just slightly, gently move the razor blade along, and so it'll come out. And generally, I'll just leave, if there's a loose thread right here, I'll leave it in there until I'm really ready to, go back, because it at least lets me know is exactly where Mezco sewed it. So if I want to sew it, I could probably sew it that way too. But okay, so let's get the jacket off, right? And this is kind of a task in its own as well. You have to be careful with these things. They can rip for sure, but generally I like to put the shoulder back and then just kind of, if you can find it, this is kind of tough because it's got the long sleeve shirt underneath as well, and it's trying to pull on that, but let's see if we can't get this over the shoulders. There we go. Usually you'll find a spot that slides. It's usually the broken arm, unfortunately. And then, gosh, this thing's like really over the cuff. So if you do need some help, I suggest keeping a flathead screwdriver nearby or whatnot, a small one. And if you need to, you can kind of, I guess, break up this clump of cloth. So push that in. And let's see if we can't. There we go. That peels off. Okay, so now we've got our right arm, right? So I'm going to adjust this a bit. Let's see. Hang tight. Hang tight, guys. Sorry. There we go. Where we at? That looks better, I think. Here's where we want to be. Yeah. This is probably where I'll be working at. Sorry guys, I'm like so short of time these days. I just feel like it's better spent for everybody if I'm making sure that I'm shooting a tutorial at the same time. But I don't get to interact with you guys as much as usual. So, that's a real drawback. I think I'm just really playing catch up right now, and that's what's happening. I've got a lot of jobs. I actually knocked out like 3 or 4 yesterday, so that's good. We're getting caught up a little bit. All right, let's get back to this. So yeah. So now that we've got the jacket off, we want to cut the cuff of the sleeve here, and it's a pretty thick cuff. I want to say it's got, man, I can't tell if it's like 1 or 2 threads. But yeah, this right here is the issue. The forearm is just, it's like the right here where the elbow meets. So you got the skinny, and then it's thicker right here, and that's the problem. It can't get past here because of our threading. So once again, we're gonna take our razor blade and just try to find where the seam opens up with it. You can even kind of part it a little bit. Let's see if we can't. come in from the bottom. There we go. Just kind of go up, and that'll reveal. That was like I cut one piece of that thread, and you could tell it was all the way around here. So next, this is it. This is us getting our arm out, and this is the problem we're dealing with. So this next step kind of sucks because you kind of wrinkle the shirt this way, but you have to do it. You have to pull the sleeve back like this, like slide it almost, and then you should be able to fold this back a little bit. Don't fold it back too crazy because you don't want to like tear out a thread or something. But here's where our peg is that broke off. So we need to heat this up and pry that out. And the way we do that, well, I use a heat gun. So we're going to heat this up real quick. It doesn't take long with this soft Mezco plastic either. Alright. So now that we've got it heated up, I sometimes just use this small flathead screwdriver. It's been doing me pretty well here lately. Let's see if we've heated it up enough to pry this peg out, which is being a little difficult. Sometimes though, whenever I go down in there like that, I might be in another piece of plastic instead of under it. Well, I think we're gonna have to reheat this guy. I'm stretching this thing as far as I can go. All right, let's try to reheat it again. There ain't nothing wrong with that. All right. So now we've reheated. Let's go back with our screwdriver. Man, it is really wanting to stay in there. It's definitely heated up enough. It's just like not wanting to play ball here. I wonder if I can grip it with some small needle nose. Oh yeah, there we go. Wow. Cool. I think it was just caught. All right, so what I like to do right after that is to try to, you know, basically de-wrinkle your sleeve, because you can see it wrinkles it up a little bit, which this can be fixed with a steamer, or I don't know, you can, I'm not going to give you any advice on that because I don't know completely. I just know that a steamer could help. I don't know if that has any effect on plastic, but I'm doubting it. Okay, so now we have our arm out. Okay, now our arm is out. So the first thing we want to do is, a lot of times I just want to see if I can bend it, you know, and a lot of times I have to take the like needle nose pliers and make sure that when I grip it, it's got a little bit of room to at least move while gripping, and see if we can't get this thing to move. It looks like this might be stuck, which would explain why it broke. Let's see. Okay, yeah, this is definitely not moving. Okay, so that's a problem. If we were to go in and drill a hole through our peg, which we're about to do, and put it back here and reattach it without loosening this up, it would be pointless. So what we need to do is heat this up now, and I'm going to take this small flathead screwdriver after it's heated up, and we're going to go in through the sides like so, kind of wiggle that around and see if we can't break up whatever's keeping this thing locked. So we're going to heat this guy up. What's up, guys? Sorry, trying to do a tutorial at the same time, so it's kind of strange, but it's nothing new to us, but this one takes a lot of focus. And I have to do it again, so if I miss anything in this shoot, then I can actually catch it next time. Alright, so now that this is heated up, like I said, we're going to go in with a flathead screwdriver here and just go in along basically the hole of the disc. So what we're trying to do is go in one side and hopefully out the other and see if we can't break up whatever it is that's causing this to stick. So you can see we're all the way through there. Pull that out there. And let's see now, after we've pulled that around, if we can grab our needle nose. Let's see if we can't move it. Well, it definitely moves. And this is a really weird thing on these too. It's I got this hook right here, and I'm sure if I was to just Dremel this piece down, I bet you anything that it would probably allow a little more fluid movement. I don't know if it would like make it less sturdy, because I'm pretty sure it's just to stop the elbow from going backwards. But I mean, man, if you had like a shot of like somebody like doing that underarm, like Steven Seagal breaking somebody's elbow, and you wanted this to go up further, you know, you could crack, you know, just have it breaking. But I don't know. Thanks. You can thank me later for that little image in your head. But yeah, so next, now that we've got this broken up and it's moving, we want to add we're going to drill some holes and we're going to reattach this peg. But first, saw my man Rocker Josh.
Excellent.
Welcome, sir. Welcome. Had that prepped. Sounds like there's a celebration in the living room right now between Loki and Arthur. Yeah, guys, I'm hanging in there, you know. Mom's home, seems to be doing all right, so we're gonna just play it by ear. Like I said at the beginning of this stream, if you weren't here, it was a very, very taxing week last week. So trying to get over that still. So that's where we are right now. But yeah. Okay, so we need to get a smaller drill bit. And I'm thinking this is a 0.8. Yeah. 0.8 millimeter. Dude, Josh, this is you only need like, that's what I need to do is a video of like, hey, every toy mechanic needs these in their tool bag, toolbox, whatever you want, whatever you have. Okay, let's get back to it. I have a 0.8 millimeter drill bit now, and I'm going to go in kind of at a slower speed, and we're just going to drill a hole in the existing hole. Most of the time, these already have like a hole here from where they broke. I don't know if that's why they broke. I don't know if it's like a bubble in the mold or something like that. But anyways, I always use them as a guide. So you back up, come in. We'll go all the way through. And then what I always like to do is to make sure you grab it after you've drilled in there and you bend it, and now we can put our peg back in. If you keep it over there, let's say you went too far into the basically the piece that's holding the disc in, if you go past the disc and into that piece, then you're gonna lock your joint up. So that's why, just in case I went in all the way through, if I was to put the screw all the way through and it connected into that other hole that I made, well, it would lock up the piece, and we don't want that. So I just move it a little bit. Just move it away from that other hole, and you're fine. That's if you went all the way through and into the centerpiece. If not, then you're fine. So next, this is always a fun part. I think people always enjoy this. We've got to drill a hole all the way through this tiny little peg, the tiniest peg. So yeah, I don't really have a trick for this one. Generally I will clamp it with some needle nose pliers like so, and then basically hope that this goes all the way through and doesn't break in the center. You can do this with your fingers, like a finger drill. It's not really suggested to use these micro drill bits with a electronic drill, thus them being finger drill bits. But I do it anyways, because sometimes it works a lot faster. So, you know, let's see what we can do here. So we're going to try to go in from the dead center, go all the way through. Ooh. Oh, did you see that? It just broke. That happens sometimes, and that's why I totally suggested that at the beginning. Was that I was not suggesting this. But I have a lot of them, and they're fairly cheap. So, like I said, makes my job a little faster. All right, let's take two. Let's try this again. This happens. Gosh, it's really fighting me. Everything. Broke another one off. So this is actually a good lesson. Sometimes you'll encounter, and this is a lot of the old Mezcos, I remember seeing this. You'll encounter this like really hard plastic, and basically you have to let the drill bit sit there for a minute, which let's try as directed. You want to find a center piece here, and you want to make sure it starts drilling into the plastic. So that was what was happening just a minute ago. We saw it was just sitting there, just bouncing off of it, and then it would bounce off and hit the pliers, and then it would break. So, valuable lesson. A lot of times that is just not a problem for me, but tonight something in the universe is making sure that I teach you guys the proper way to do so. So I'm actually using a finger drill right now to slowly drill out the center. This is the safest and slowest way to do this. And this is literally it. You'll start seeing the plastic like build up around the drill bit, and that's how you know you're doing all right. So what I usually do now, I'm going to try it again because I'm stubborn, but now that I've got a groove started, here we go. We've got a little section started in there now, and it's, you can actually see it. Let's see here. Well, you know, when technology works, it works, and then when it doesn't, it doesn't. Anyways, so you can see the groove that we've made here. So we're going to go in once again, following the groove this time. Let's see if this works. And we've gone all the way through dead center. Dead center. I love it. And sometimes you might go off to the side a little bit. And that's okay. It's better to keep it in the center, because if you go off to the side and you start splitting out of here, and then you start putting a screw in, it's gonna split the plastic around there, and that's not fun for anybody. You're gonna have to shape your screw inside of there. It's just a real mess. You could use another peg if you needed to, and if you've got a right size screw, which I'm sure one exists, you might be able to do that too. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to come in from the opposite side now, and hope it doesn't break. It's a good way to break it because a lot of times it can catch. All right. So now we've got our holes here. Now we need to see if we can fit this for a screw. All right. So we got the old trusty box of screws. Let's see, what do we got here? That's a good one. The more threading, the better. Man, I wonder if I could use one of these big boys. It's a stronger one. It's a stronger peg, but I don't know. Man, there's just not a whole lot of peg here to screw into. I think that would end up probably destroying that. I don't want to do that. We don't want to do that. What's up, Julian? What's up, Koopa Steve? MCT Dog Mag. Oh, dude. High School Creations was in here. Dang it. He's probably not still in here. But if he is, I was going to show him my... This thing actually does power... Oh, you know what? Maybe I should turn it on. I don't know if this will reach all the way over there. Hang on. I was about to get special up in here. Oh, come here. Alright, USB. Man, my USB power luck has been like crazy lately. Meaning every time I go to plug in a regular old USB, it's worked. Like last 3 times. It's been incredible. Oh man. Oh dude, look at this. This is crazy. So you get what you pay for. So I got all excited when I got home, and let's turn off that strobe effect. So I wanted orange, right? Which this I guess is as good as I'm gonna get. But you can see here on the remote that it goes from this orange and then this orange. See if it'll work from right here. Look, it went green. I clicked this, and then there's another orange, like yellow below it. Look, it's green. And then yellow. I think yellow. Well, no, yellow's still some weird green. And then I click the green next to it, and it turns blue. And then it starts kind of figuring itself out from there on out. But something didn't get programmed right in this one. That's my luck, right? But at least this orange kind of works. But yeah, I really wanted this orange specifically, and it just starts going green. And I used to have some more of these remotes lying around, but I think I threw those lights away. I can't remember. That's really... Oh, that's pink. Okay. Not orange. That's freaking like lime snow cone or something. This is the closest orange we're gonna get, guys. Okay, back to it. Try to fit this peg with a screw. This is not the most exciting thing to watch. Really be tapping. I think my wrist is like feeling it right now. Okay, so I can feel that this is going in, and it's like it's getting real snug. So we want to back up the tracks real quick on that. We'll try it from the other end as well, but we might have to go back in with the drill bit. And that's why I do that. I go in from both sides because you're wiggling around in there, and it's like coming in at an awkward angle, and it's gonna cause a larger hole on one side than the other side. Yes, it'll go probably all the way through from this side. And doing this also kind of loosens it up just a little bit, kind of makes a threading, if you will, going through. So we're gonna see if we'll try one more time. This is how you're spending your Monday night, is watching me put a screw into plastic over and over again. Okay, that's feeling really good. There's a good snug to that. Let's back her up a little bit. It's feeling pretty good, but I just want to make sure. I'm going to drill one more hole. Okay, I think that's going to be good. Okay, so now that we've fitted that, let's straighten out our screw peg. All right, so we're going to straighten out a screw real quick. Well, not completely straighten it out though. So what I like to do is, you guys who's followed me for a while will definitely know this technique. I like to pull out like so while it's still gripped. You just got to find like all the right angles on this thing to make it basically as straight as you can. It doesn't have to be perfect, but, and then we'll go here. So you go from every bend, and then I like to leave this. I like to leave this little hook here at the end, because it allows you to grip onto it with your pliers in a second whenever you have to tighten it, and that's just really helpful. So next we're going to make sure is that this goes all the way through before we add glue. And here's what I was getting at actually. So you can grip with, I'm probably doing this the opposite way here, but you can just grip the screw there, and it kind of gives you that little extra that you need to really not have to strain your wrist real hard or clench so strong down on it. I don't think that was proper English at all. Did I say strong down on it? Hashtag strong down on it, boys. I don't know. That something about that's gonna go wrong. Okay. Let's I don't know what's happening anymore. Okay, we're gonna screw this in. Let me guess. I swear I do this every time. Maybe it's better to grip the screw here. And just twist the actual piece. That seems to be working really well for us. Oh yeah, that'll go all the way through. Okay, so now we have to unscrew this. I know this seems monotonous, but guys, I cannot stress enough to double, triple test your work before making it permanent. Don't go adding glue all over it just yet. You need to test. I don't care how confident you are in it either. I do care how confident you are in it. Let me say that's a stupid phrase. Like, I don't care how. You should care. It always sounds like it's coming from a caring place, but that's not a good phrase. So yeah, I do care how confident you are, but for the sake of the project, you know, test your work. Always test your work. You'll be happy. All right, now that we got that off, that seemed like that took forever. We're gonna grab, this is my favorite, the JB Super Weld. And we're gonna add ourselves a nice little dab. Not on the very end though, not on the tip of the screw. No, we want to go ahead and just put it kind of down here, because we're going to need the tip of that screw exposed to insert into the arm. Let's go ahead and start reattaching this guy. And I would suggest doing this fast because of how the adhesive will start to react. And if it got, for some reason, if it started to adhere in the center and you kept twisting, with as strong as these screws are, they will snap. They'll twist right off. That's why I like them, is because they're easy to manipulate. They're easy to manipulate, but they also, can break if bent several times. They do the job really, really well if used in a particular fashion, and that's what really kind of got me my start in Toymechanics, just figuring that out. Okay, so we've got now keep in mind, this place in the arm that we're putting this into is not deep at all. So you can see that I mean, yes, that's thin, but that's probably, we have less than this. We probably have about half this width to go down into it. So that's probably a good rule. But let's see if we can't get this in while we're, still allowing that glue to dry. See if we can't twist the arm on. Oh yeah, it's going on great. That's perfect. It is a good idea to kind of get it where you want it and then see if it'll still bend, because that's what we want. So there we go. That worked out really well. So now I'm going to undo it. And I'm going to go ahead and put a little dab of glue here. I would definitely do want it to kind of touch this plastic piece. I want to see if I can't get that back to where it was before. That would be amazing. Kind of hard to do, but we'll see what happens. So let's go ahead and put this on. You can see where that little piece of plastic is. I want to say it's on backwards, but that's okay. Not a big deal. As long as this thing does what it's supposed to do, we're set. And it feels like it's going to do that. Let's see if we can't get one more twist in it. I'm probably pushing it. Boom. Actually, I think that was the wrong way. We want to go back the other way. We want to make sure it's tight. Boom. That's what I wanted right there, dude. Yes. All right. Okay, cool. So now we're going to see if we don't cut off a little of this excess plastic here. Yeah, a lot of times if you actually have to repair one of these, you have to go in with a razor blade right here and cut the bar in between. And then it's not fun to replace that, really. But this is looking really good. So our next challenge here, next step, is to grab a plastic bag. I should have got a name brand bag so I look rich. So we take our clippers here, our end clippers. We go as close to the end as we can. Get a nice grip on the bag. And we've got our piece that we don't need anymore. And next, also, always good to put the cap back on your adhesive and set it away from any fabric. So, the only thing really left to do with this piece right now is to take out a sanding bit, and we're gonna sand this down. It's a good idea sometimes to go in and just kind of clean up, just in case that reason it got stuck inside was due to it being, jammed up with weird plastic or whatnot. And we want to grind down that nail just a little bit, or screw just a little bit. All right, should have a nice peg shape. That's all set. Okay, so next, real quick, what we want to do is we're going to push up the arm, push up the sleeve. We're going to push up the sleeve on the arm, as we don't want to go crazy far. And then, like I said, we'll fold back the cuff to reveal where the peg hole is going to go in. Sometimes you can take a piece and just kind of sometimes Dremel around in there. Usually I would use a rounded burr for that, but I could just kind of see some pieces in there. I think we'll be all right. And now we're going to heat this up and reattach the arm. Once again, using the trusty heat gun. Heat this up just for a little bit. Won't take long. My man Bob the Odds here. What's going on, man? Alright, now that that is heated up real fast, let's go ahead and pop the arm in. I believe that's doing what I want it to. Feels a little snug, but I can't tell if that's a good snug or a bad snug. You guys know what I'm talking about. If that's going to twist all the way off, that's not what we want. But that's feeling pretty good, I think. I think so. Seems to be working exactly the way I want it. Alright. So now, put his arm back down like that, because we don't want this, you know, getting all messed up on us. More wrinkled than it needs to be. So, yeah. I'm going to go ahead and grab this one because that is still heated up over there, and I don't want to risk messing up the repair. But luckily, it's like one of those cooking shows. Check it out. This one's already been done. We're going to take the cuff here, and we're going to sew it back together. That's what we're going to do. So basically I have a tiny, I don't even know the gauge of this thread. And I already had this done. It took me, I'm not going to lie, I think I have to do this twice, and it took me a lot longer than I expected to thread this needle. It was ridiculous. But yeah, I'm not going to need a whole lot. So what I always do, and I'm sure there's going to be somebody out there that sews who is screaming at me, but either way, this is how I do it. It's kind of just a simple, dirty way to do it. I take my threading, and I'm going to tie it in a knot, like so. Yep, I usually have to use my teeth to do that. I know it's not good, but you know. And we're going to bring this back in. I like to get a nice double knot in there. Pull it taut. And then we're going to bring in some clippers, and we're going to cut the thread below the knot, obviously. Set the thread aside. Set the thread aside. We're going to set the thread aside. Wow. Okay. So next, this is what we're going to do here. We're going to take a look at our cuff, right? You can see from this side that it's fairly tight. It's fairly tight, yeah. So all we need to do is really put one or two threads in here. And so we're going to make sure it's going to, let's get rid of our excess threading from before, okay? And now we're going to see where it looks best, like kind of pinch close, and that's where we want to start sewing. You definitely want, I mean, if anything, you need it to be even, touching even, close to it. So definitely press your pieces together like so. Now the trick here really is to hide your thread as much as you can. So generally there's a big chunk of fabric right here. There's just a big old chunk of fabric. And what we got to do here is we'll go in from the underside and out, and then we'll go from the underside in and out, and then we can probably go back in one more time, tie it off, and we're done. So what I mean by that is, I'm gonna go ahead and get my thread in my hand here. So we're gonna start here at the bottom, and I'm just gonna kind of find a nice little piece here, kind of close to the edge, but I'm not going all the way across. I'm just kind of staying in this chunky plastic, or excuse me, chunky like cloth. And be very careful. You can stab yourself. I stab myself all the time whenever I'm sewing. I'm terrible about doing it. Trying to come in. Gosh, this is really thick. There we go. So let's go ahead and pull our threading all the way through. Yeah, I know it looks crazy. You got like this giant piece right here. That's okay. We can always cut that down. It's not a problem. We can leave that alone for right now. And so we're going to come in from the underside here. Once again. And you might only need just one thread here. Like I said, there's probably some people out there who are just like, this guy is not helping the community at all. He's a nightmare. He's a monster. It's a little. So let's see what happens here. Sometimes I just like to experiment, but there we go. You can start seeing that it's, pulling that together tighter. I think I'd want to go in on the other side one more time at least, just to kind of bring this piece down. But other than that, I think we're good. Literally just kind of do what you just did back around. We should be able to find a spot. There we go. We'll pull our threading through here. Get this all out of the way. And there you go. It's all together. And what you do here is, when you're done with this part, you take your thread and you're going to cut it. I usually cut it when it's really far away just so I can't mess this up. And kind of pull your pieces to make sure they're not intertwining right now. It's looking good. And then you're going to go ahead and I tie a knot. Actually, I tend to tie a lot, like 2 knots, and then I'll tuck it under the cuff here. I'm sure, like I said, I'm sure some people who are actually really good at this are screaming. But okay, so now we got all our stuff cut. Sometimes I'll even go in with a razor blade because these are kind of weak clippers, kind of weak scissors here. But so what I want to do is just kind of go in, find where, like kind of close to where the tied that knot. We'll cut that. Come back in here and find our other stuff. Careful you don't cut all your work up. And you push your sleeve back up. Just double check for any. I see one little thread right here. There we go. Got this cuff. You got this cuff. We're all set on cuffs. So, next what we have to do is the jacket. Yeah, this is it's pretty rough. Oh man, Ori's here. Look out. If you guys didn't get to wish Ori a happy birthday, yesterday was his birthday. He's like 75. Still out there rocking it. He's awesome. He's a really big advocate for the senior citizens. Thank you for your service, Ori. I just found a loose thread that I didn't do, and it's just really bugging me. Cool. All right, guys, next up, we're going to be doing the, I think mine's tighter than the actual one that they did. Take that, Mezco. So next, what we're going to do is the jacket. Okay, hang on. Sorry, guys. I'm shooting this tutorial After I'm done with this jacket, I'm gonna kill the tutorial. Like so, hopefully we get an hour just to kind of chill. I hope you guys would like that, and if not, let me know. I'm trying different things and figuring out what works best for these shows for us. And I was thinking about maybe like from now on, try to start the first hour or so like with a tutorial repair, and then when I'm done, if I have time left, I only want to do one repair a night. If I have the time left, I'd like to be able to just jump in here and just talk to you guys, kind of like we used to. Man, I've got like this wet spot on my freaking like pant short legs over here on my shorts. Is my dog was laying on me earlier just asleep, and I'm watching TV, and I'm like, oh man, missed you all day, buddy. And then he gets off, and like 30 minutes later, I look down, I'm like, that's gross, and it's like stained. Nasty dogs. I wouldn't trade them for anything, but dang it. I like these shorts. Dude. Oh, I thought I got this. I thought I threaded this needle like one try. I'm not gonna lie, dude. It took me. We may be here for the rest of the night. This is what cost us the time. Was Bill couldn't thread the needle. Son of a gun. Okay. Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it. Okay. There's like a weird knot in here already. Son of a gun, for real. This is usually when I stab myself. Is I'll be sitting there. I'm like, oh man, what's going on here? I'll be tying like the threading off. I reach back and I stab myself like an idiot. Alright, well, let's go with a shorter thread this time and see what happens. See if I can't pull this off. You literally just need like one threading, one little pass, and you're done. This is why I need a Patreon account right here. Be like, watch the full uncut threading of the needle. I don't think I gave nah, dude, I didn't give myself enough room. I'm not doing this. I'm not stupid. I'm not gonna embarrass myself. There we go. All right, I really don't think I could do it with that small amount. Should I try? Should I try this small amount? God, it's a lot. That's a really small amount. It's a small amount of thread. I was tightening it and it kept like getting smaller. I swear, I just tried to tie a knot and I have no idea where I went in time and space, but this did. That's a tight knot. See what happens. Cut this down a little bit. Maybe we can do this with a short, really short thread. I don't think I'm going to need a lot. Like I said, one pass. Okay, let's get back in the, man, no way. Yeah, hang on a second. This is Renegade. I don't want to do this now. I want to get a new one. I just realized I'm going to have to make it at least the length of the needle to go all the way through. Alright, wish me luck on another successful threading of the needle. Man. Swear, I don't know how people do it. It's like always this like one little weird tiny piece that I can't, that's like invisible to the naked eye. Oh, come on. God dang. Dang it, dude. For real? I wish I would have noticed that stinking. Check for knots in your threads, man. It'll really mess up your night. for the love. I think they've got a little tool for this, and I don't have one. I know what it looks like, too. It's that little... Oh, wait a minute. Maybe I do. Hang on. Check this out. This is Christine's sewing kit. What up? Ryan's here. Oh, my God. Mr. Ortega says, finally caught a live stream. Well, right on. Well, maybe you'll learn something. I'm checking the box here to see if there's, like, one of those little thread pullers. Oh, there is! Yes! Oh, man. All right. Watch how fast this goes. Boom! This little fella right here. Whoever thought of this was like, I got it. Like, I'm about to save us so much time. You have no idea. Look at that. Just goes right on there. You grab your thread. You put it through this gigantic hole. It's gigantic. And then you grip it and rip. Yeah. Yeah. Alright. And pull all the way through. How about that? Ain't that something? Somebody, that's like such a simple idea, but whoever did it, genius, right? I guarantee it was some other poor bloke that was like, man, I wish there was a faster way to thread this needle. And he was like, yeah, I bet. And he heard like somebody else say it too, but nobody was even trying to like make it better. They're just complaining. He's like, all right, I got y'all. You guys didn't know you're going to get the history of the thread puller. I don't know what I'm doing tonight with these freaking knots. I'm still like recovering from last week, man. That was a traumatic event, so we're trying. Christine's working a long one tonight, so. All right. Needle threaded. Official. I'm going to put my little needle or threader. Okay, let's find where we cut, or where's our knot, and let's cut. Let's put our thread back up. If you want the knot at a certain position, put your finger on the loop and pull so the knot won't move. Koopa Steve, ladies and gentlemen. How about that? You can thread a needle a little easier if you wet the tip of the string. Ryan, I pretty much ate that string. You couldn't see it every time I'm down here like, It's like it's not going in. All right, but we got it now. All right, hang on. I got to do this on the videos. All right. Watch how fast the video is going to be, though, whenever you watch. It's going to be like, dang! You know how long it took him to thread that needle? Okay, so next we're going to do the jacket. And first part of doing the jacket is getting the jacket to go back on. We've got our cuffs all nice and sewn up. So let's go ahead and see if we can't bring this coat around just like you would put it on in real life. And kind of bring it up towards the shoulder here. You don't have to go all the way on yet though. You still got some room here to breathe. So kind of give that a pull, give that a pull. Start bringing your arms down now to try to even them out. This is so weird. This is why I was against, like, I'm not gonna lie. When Mezco first dropped, I was like, dude, I am not messing with soft goods. I was like, those are dolls. And they are. You know, when it comes down to it, I'm sitting here messing with this. I'm like, yeah, this is weird. I'm clothing a figure. But, you know, when it comes down to it, I get it. Girls had it right all along anyway, so. Well, let's see if we can't scooch this tie over just a scotch. There we go. Must have got hit or something. Okay, so we have our jacket back on. You can see that the cuffs are both where they need to be. I think you can stretch those out. If you wanted to pull those out past the jacket, I believe you could just use some needle nose pliers and just kind of go in like that and tug on them. I'm going to leave them be. So as we saw earlier at the beginning of this, that this has like one threading spot. That's it. And it's on the underside of the jacket. It works. What you want to make sure is that it's right under this top button. When I say under, I mean literally under it on the underside, the opposite side. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our needle and thread. Once again, has a knot tied in the end here. So we're going to take this and we're going to go, let me make sure I'm doing this right. I believe we want to go under here. Actually, I think we've got a little thread. Hang on. I guess I could actually use the needle. Just want to make sure we don't have any excess thread, or if this is the one that we're actually supposed to use. We might actually be able to use that piece here. It looks like you could almost, what I would do, and what I'm going to show you how to do, is to come in from the bottom right here where that, you can kind of see, like on mine there's like this really big piece right here. But I'm going to come in through the very bottom so that knot will be hidden. Let's make sure we're coming out at the right spot. I want to go a little higher than that. Dang, I feel like I'm just not hitting the mark here. I'm trying to go right here. Boy, I look like a... There we go. Right on the money. That's where I want to go. Right on the money. All right. Let's pull that tight. And so now, since we're on the underside here, I'm going to go ahead and give this a little bit of a snip here. So I don't have to mess with that again. Okay, so now we're on the underside again. Let me make sure I've got all my threading here. Looks like something might have got hung. Okay, cool. So now we're all the way through. We want to go, we don't want to go all the way through, honestly, here on this side. I just went kind of from this lower spot here, where you can kind of see where the threading was before, and then you just kind of press in like so, and then make sure it doesn't get caught on a sleeve. But what this should do while you're pulling it is pull the jacket shut, unless some of your threading gets caught. Hope I didn't just tie that in a knot. That's gonna suck. Okay, hang tight. There we go. Something just got hung there for a second. Looks like some of the threadings just come a little uneven, which isn't a problem. Just kind of give it a little tug. And generally this will tend to shut the, oh man, I think my freaking knot came out. Boo! Disclaimer. Billy is not a professional seamstress or sewer. See, this is why I got to do the lives and why I got to do the tutorials while I do the lives, because ain't nobody wanting to watch this again. Alright. Take two, right? This is why you really watch this. You watch it to watch me fail. Dude, Ryan. I think my catchphrase of the year has to be, I'm telling you that I can't. That is my favorite thing, and I found that it applies to way more situations than I would have ever expected one phrase to apply to. I'm telling you that I can't. I don't know if any of you guys out there watch I Think You Should Leave or any Tim Robinson comedy. Me and a few of my friends absolutely adore him and his brand of weird, hilariously awkward amazement. I love him. And that's a line that I got from one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life. It was a skit by none other than Tim Robinson. All right, we're rethreaded. God dang. You know, I'm going to go ahead and put one more knot just to make sure the stupid thing doesn't come undone again. Why not? Let's go again. You can never have too many knots, I guess. That's probably very untrue. Don't follow that. All right. Watch, I got to go through this whole thing again. So now that you're rethreaded, we're going to go in through the very bottom here on the right side of the jacket. You can also see that there's a lot of just mess under here, which I feel like needs to be removed. Not sure what. I'm not even sure what that's doing down there. It's just a big mess of freaking junk. Huh. I think we'll get rid of this. Watch the whole suit come apart when I cut this. Like, great. There we go. Oh no, I think that was from before. Okay. Let's go ahead and get my needle ready. We're going to go in through the bottom here. Basically right where that stuff was before. Okay. And then we're going to go in from the underside of the jacket. We're not actually going to go through the other side. Going to find a nice little piece in there. Keep your threading even and straight. And what this does is we're just going to kind of pull it evenly through, and it should shut itself, basically. This is what we're looking at now. It's looking pretty good. What we want to do is I'm going to come back in really close to where I originally came out. Like I said, make sure all of your threading is nice and close. It's right where you want it to be. Because right now what we're going to do is we're going to pull this tight. And that closes our jacket. Just like that. You can, go further over if you want to. I think this looks pretty good right here. And so what we're going to do next is we're going to go ahead and cut the threading. And now we need to tie just a few knots. And then we should be good to go. If you can freaking separate the threading somehow, good lord. This is fun. Okay. Just making the video longer, right? Going for that YouTube, was it the 10-minute length? I think that's what I've heard. All right. So yeah, just give it some couple of knots here. Make sure I'm doing it. Sometimes like it unravels itself like Houdini for me, and I don't want it to do that. Let's go and do one more knot just to be safe. And then we come in with our scissors real close. Get a cut. Tuck this jacket back under. I'm not sure what this thread is underneath here all the way, but it can go away too. Cool. And there we have it. You can press that down if it's not doing what you want it to. If you want it to sway out, you can do that too. And then your little place right here where the button is all set. So that's how you do that. And I hope you guys learned something today. I hope that wasn't too drawn out for you. I hope it was easy to understand. As always, take care of each other out there, and I'll keep fixing your toys. We did it, guys. We did a whole tutorial. Turning this off, putting this over here. All right, we did it. We repaired a figure, and then you guys learned how to sew. Everybody out there can literally sew a full-on outfit. Yeah, put them inside out to hide the stitches, but it's like, that's why I went from the bottom side out, because otherwise I can't really turn this jacket inside out while it's on the figure. That's what really blows my mind about a lot of these figures, is that all of this stuff has to be like done by hand on the figure. I haven't found a way to like do the clothing. I know like you can start the clothing, but then you have to, all the things that I end up repairing as far as sewing goes is the stuff that's basically that inset. So whenever they sew up the pants inside out, then they fold them in, put them on, and it's the seat of the pants that slid up. You got to sew that together, or the back or whatnot. And it's basically just finding a way to hide the threading and make it look nice and not add any extra pleats or dents to it. But yeah, here we are. We're pretty good. There, this is factory, and this is the one I just did. You got the pleats and everything in them. So, and you can make that tighter. So, you can't sew, Julian? Well, now you can. Welcome. And now this is another one, but I'm going to do this one another time. I'm not doing another one of these tonight. I did 2 of these one night, man. I did a freaking dude, I sewed up a John Wick vest, like the shirt, the vest, and the jacket. And Darius was like, "Oh, you were supposed to use that arm for like a black mask repair." I was like, "Oh my god." It's like, well, he's like, "I'll take the wick. Definitely, I'll take that back." I was like, "All right, yeah, definitely do. Thanks." Whew, was not. Ugh, it sucked. Cool though. Yeah, that's what we wanted to do. So, what have you guys been up to? What's new in the world of Crewmaru today? Let's see, I'm gonna zoom out a little bit. I'll show you some of the Maru pickups. One of my favorite ones easily right now has got to be this Storm Collectibles Ares. Man, this thing is crazy cool. Like, just awesome. Really, really, really enjoying this thing. Got an awesome thick cape. Got just enough strength in the wire to really give you all the poses you need. It's a Storm Collectible, so you know it's good. And dude, he's got like all these different heads. I think it's like 3 different heads, like kind of grimacing, the screaming head, and then no real, just a more neutral expression. But his freaking weapons are crazy awesome. Look at this axe. What? It's freaking awesome. It's crazy. Oh, Julian, you can't fit. You physically possible not to sew. I got you. Well, you know, that's why there's lots of people in the world, because other people will be able to sew and you don't need to sew. They'll sew for you. But yeah, this thing is dope, man. I really like this. Yeah, I am too, Ori. Actually, I didn't, dude. I tried to cancel it and it just didn't go through. And I was like, well, I'm not going to run out on a business, you know. And I got him and I was like, man, yeah, this is like up there with Lobo. I love Ares, man. I don't even know why. I think I was just trying to be financially responsible at the time, and it's a pile of loot, so you can wait forever. So I was fine with that. And I ended up getting him and then a gift for my cousin, so that was pretty cool. Samurai Chris finished up a custom. That's what's up, man. I know that feeling. God, that's a great feeling. What'd you do? What'd you make? Is it a Dio or is it an actual figure custom? Man, Koopa Steve, I don't think you're gonna be that mad because these don't. How many Storm collectibles are really hard to get besides like the um, like older Mortal Kombat? Are any of the Injustice figures like hard to get? Because Lobo, I think Lobo is still, if not, you can get him maybe even cheaper than what he was at retail. I'm not sure. Now this is the last time I checked, but dude, that Lobo is like one to have, easily one to have. Like I don't think they're ever gonna make a better Lobo than that. I don't know how they could. It's so good. I think that's the one thing that's the coolest that with the Injustice line. Um, I love the fact that the designs are just so good. I mean, for the most part, like the bad guys, the villains are really, really well done. I really liked Aquaman in the first game. Did not like his design in the second one. No matter what armor I put on him, I was like, this just doesn't work. But this is another really awesome one I got. Got the this SHF Pac-Man. Dude, this thing is $20. This is $20, like, shipped. It's so freaking cool. Just easily one of the coolest figures. Like, just $20, super cheap. I wonder if he'll stay that cheap. He's got like a cool winking face. He's got this regular smiley face. He's got two of these open mitts here. These open slappy hands. He's got his cool thumbs up hand. And if you want, you can freaking take off the... he's got really good articulation. He's got these cool little sliders in his body. And it allows you to, like, yeah, slide stuff. Look at that, man. You get, like, these awesome, like, stretches of running in. Just having a blast because he's freaking Pac-Man. He doesn't come with a stand, which I thought was pretty funny, but also kind of relieving because... God, if you've been collecting at this point, you have stands. And I've got plenty of them. Just anywhere I look, I can probably grab one. But he can, you can stick him on a SHF stand here. And if you want, look at this. You can take all of his, like, pieces off. I think you can take his arms off. Thought you could take all of the pieces off. Maybe I'm wrong. No, you definitely can. I just don't know how. I don't want to break him. Man, I'm pretty positive, though, you can take all the pieces off and have him, like, just a big old ball going after people like the old school Pac-Man. It doesn't show that on the back of the packaging. Sheesh, maybe I'm wrong. The legs slide off for show. You know, when in doubt, check the instructions. Oh man, maybe he doesn't. Really? I feel like this could be fixed with a simple mod. Like this right here is keeping this in, which is cool. It feels like this could just be pressed out. I bet I could unscrew this, pop that out, and then make like a modded one. I wonder what's this look like on the inside. Like I said, thing's only $20, so see, I'm not sure what that screw goes to, but let's see what's going on with the SHF Pac-Man. He comes with like little like 8-bit cherries, little ghost. It'd be cool to have the other three. Was it Inky, Blinky, and Sue or something? Inky, Blinky, Pinky, Clyde? Why am I thinking Clyde? Who knows the names of the ghosts from Pac-Man? Hit us up. Alright, let's see what happens if we... Let's zoom in here, see what we're doing. Gosh, that's jarring every time. Ugh, I just need this on a better swivel so badly. There we go. There we go. Okay. Taking apart Pac-Man. Crewmaru Mondays. Almost lost a freaking screw. I feel like that wasn't even holding that in. Oh, maybe it was. Oh, so yeah, it's got a little tab on the inside. Look at that. Heck, you don't even have to put this thing back. You could just set them like this. Looks good from the front. It'd be cool to have like 3D printed like some little yellow plugs. That'd be cool. Yeah, pretty fun. I really like this thing. I mean, it's for what it is, it's really great. Super fun figure. I think this goes in like this. Don't let me put freaking... Come on, man. What are we doing here? I'll put you back wrong. Oh, you can't even put this thing back together wrong. That's awesome. Looks like my arm's coming out here. There we go. Probably from where I tried to pull the thing apart. So that's kind of cool. I really thought that was like a feature though, so I'm feeling kind of stupid. Whatever. Make sure we're going in the right way here. I'm gonna be here the rest of the night trying to put together my Pac-Man. Like, I really messed this thing up. I think I can't figure out how to get the legs back on. Stupid. Oh, there it goes. They don't force them. They will go on the way they're supposed to. That's why we're on this channel, to try out different things and really try not. That's what I need, man. If I can get that's what I need is a sponsorship from a company. It's like, can he break it and can he repair it? It's like common mishaps. That's what I need is like, this is how many ways you can break this figure in normal play. And then by the end, we could do like some crazy explosion. Be like, this is how you can destroy it with an 8-ton bomb. I don't know where I'm going to get that, but I'm thinking somebody with a little bit of YouTube pull could, you know, hook that up. All right. Oops, there's a piece of thread coming back out to haunt me. Oop. That did not fall on the inside. Oh no, it's gonna be like a little game. Oh, it came out. Dang. You ever have a piece of plastic stuck inside of a figure? Man, I can't tell you. That used to happen a lot, man. People would hit me up and be like, dude, can you, there's a piece rattling around in there. Can you get rid of it? Like, it bothered them that much. Like, the figure wasn't broken. Something inside, obviously, was, like, you know, doing its thing. And they'd always tell me to, can you get that thing out of there? It's driving me crazy. And I say yes. Yeah, all right, Pac-Man, you're back together. You're all set. Such a cool figure, man. That was even easy to pick apart and put back together. I love his thumbs up hand, though. It's the best. I wish he had two. Yeah. Look at the crowd, Pac. His feet back like that. It's dope. Lock it a lot. Get them cherries, Pac-Man. Oop. They gone. Actually, I can just throw all this in a plastic bag. I'm not going to keep the box for this one since it was so cheap. I'm trying my best right now, guys, to get rid of boxes. I threw away all my NECA Ninja Turtle boxes. I recycled them. I tossed them. I got rid of them. They gone. Didn't want them anymore. Taking up too much dang room around my house. All right. This box will go. Actually, tomorrow's trash day. And I got one more thing right now. I didn't really do a lot of pickups. This is the only pickup I had because I was depressed and I wanted to buy something. So I bought this comic Luke Skywalker that I haven't opened yet. He's just hanging out in here. You know? So, just thought I'd grab it. I really like the packaging these. I like that they've made it look like a book. Kind of reminds me of those old big fat VHS tapes you get like from Disney. Only those were, I think, were big puffy plastic. Man. Yeah, I don't think I got... Everything else is crazy right now, man. I've had like just an influx of Mezco repairs. Guys, it is going to be a Mezco heavy month coming up, or at least repair season, I would say. I've got a lot, man. There's like a Black Adam. There was like a guy who's going to send me like a, looks like kind of like a custom Red Skull, or not Red Skull, Pink Skull Gomez kind of character. And he's got some broken ankle joints. And I've got a Black Adam coming in. I've got just a bunch of other ones. I can't remember all of them at this point, but there's a lot of them. It's crazy. And then I got a Mafex Peter B. Parker coming in, which is interesting, but that's got to go over to Casting Cave, get him to cast the hip piece. It's that little ball piece that moves up and down. So I got to get that thing fixed post haste. But yeah, but, like I said, I don't really have much to discuss because last week, like, man, for those of you that don't know, my mother was put in the hospital for a stroke-like seizure that happened, and she couldn't recognize anybody for a full 24 hours. She's in the hospital for 6 days. It was really crazy, man. It was really freaking scary. She got better every day and trying to get her blood pressure under control. So that's where we are. It's just a lot to take in. Just weird how that stuff kind of sticks with you for a while, man. It was really, really scary. And then once somebody gets out of the hospital, you're worried. Well, they had all this people watching over them in the hospital. Now she lives alone. You know, you get spooked. Actually, I did have another cool thing I picked up. My buddy Liddell, goes by Trash K. He suggested these little tiny puppet things, man. And this is... Look how freaking awesome this thing is, man. Like, you can change out the armor. It's got like 3 or 4 modes. Like, you can take out the chest piece here. Like, these right here. Drop down. All the pieces have, like, all the colored pieces have, like, that color. So, there's... How am I saying? I'm trying to say this. All the yellow pieces and blue pieces come in yellow and blue. So, there's, like, all these extra pieces over here that would correlate with these. Oh, pardon me, that's rude. It's been very tiring. Yeah, dude, check this out. Like, so I use the blue here because blue is more Dremel's color. Check this out. So this little drill, you can adjust what kind of drill bit. Either you can do a flathead or this Phillips, or just more of a traditional screw. And look at this. Puts in, and you can freaking open it up like this. It's a model kit, so they can fall apart. And look at that. It turns into a freaking suitcase. All you gotta do is pop the arm back on. He's got these like dope, like, you can keep this backpack on if you want, or you can take it off. But check this out, man. He's got these arms in the back. He's got like all these attachments. So it's like, check this out. There's like an axe, or like a wrench, which is freaking awesome. So yeah, I got me a little Toycanic buddy here, and I really, really like him. I like this chest deal right here. You can take it and then see if we can open this up from the bottom. It should. I think it lifts up via... Yeah, look at that. Like opens up and there's a piece that's inside of here, like a little metal piece. But yeah, you can even change out this vest thing. You can take his backpack off. All these little yellow pieces of armor, like this, and the blue pieces come off, and there's actually like sculpt underneath it, like little pistons and whatnot. So it's not like he's just, you know, stuck with some weird thing going on. But it's pretty freaking cool, man. I really like this guy. He's even got a mode called Repair Mode, which was just the coolest thing ever. But yeah, dude, little Marubot. This is like my second Marubot that I've had, but this is probably my favorite one just because of how I kind of want more of these. Like, I wish I could get these pieces cast in orange, but that'd be expensive and unnecessary, but it'd be really cool. He's got this cool little, like, little pickaxe thing that can pop apart, or you can use it however you want. And then it's in this little set here, but you can crack this open and just use it as whatever you want it to. And then it come with these other, like, I wish it had 2 more yellow handles, but you can make like this guy here, which is kind of cool. You just can click on the back, and then this is probably one of my favorites, is the hacksaw piece. I was like, yes, so awesome. Which you can hold, or you can even like attach it to this little cool peg piece that he's got clipped on his arm, which you can also undo that. And he's got a bunch of different hands. There's different heads. Basically, yeah, there's like completely different heads that you can do, which are in here. There's like a bunch of heads and hands and like all sorts of cool little pieces. This thing was like $16. Oh, Samurai Chris, we know we don't have time for that. I'd never do it. It'd be such a cool idea, though. I'll never do it, though. I just wouldn't. I just don't have time for custom pieces anymore. Oh, this is really cool. This is like it's like a suitcase, but then, wait, what's happening? Oh my God, it's not a suitcase at all. It's a freaking pipe wrench. Yeah, that actually can. It's fairly a snug fit and would be probably appropriate. There you go, little backpack, or not a backpack. You probably actually, yeah, you could use this as a backpack. You can do whatever you want with this thing. It's freaking awesome. But I think he's really, really cool. It's one of the coolest figures I've had in a long time. It's a fun little model kit. So actually, what was fun was that I got him. I want to say it was like day 1 or 2 of like my mom being in the hospital. So it was like really nice to come home, and I was like, oh, model kit. I was like, yes. It's like, that's what I wanted. Chris, I bought this at, oh no, it's a really awesome site. Oh, Ryan, are you still in here? Or Ori, do you guys remember where I got this from? Ryan told me he orders stuff from here all the time. It was like free shipping, and oh man, I deleted all the emails after I bought it. Dang it. I'll hit you up, Chris, if I can find out where it was from. Man, I do not. Maybe I can check my. I'd like to let people know where I got this from, because it was actually pretty dang nice. Let's see. I did trash some stuff today. Let's see if I can scroll through here and find it. Oh, it's update. Everything's like updating, so it's freaking out. That's enough. You don't need to update no more. That's good enough. Thank you very much. I got some Nike shoes the other day too. I never bought Nikes before. I really like them. Man, guys, sorry. I was gonna buy it off. I actually had it pre-ordered on Amazon, and then it canceled on me. Yep. Sure Thing Toys. Oh, dang it, Ryan. Right when I found it. Dang it, I looked up and there it is. Yeah, Sure Thing Toys. As Ryan just pointed out right before I said it. Dang it. Stupid. Yeah, Julian says, we got it. We got it, man. I've got another crazy job here, which I was wondering if I could get to some of these. I'm about to do probably a little series on these, depending on how different they are from each other. But I'm doing somebody hit me up, and she said that she's getting into customs, but they didn't want, like, they don't trust themselves in opening it up, like cracking the figure open, which I totally get it. That's a pretty scary thing, especially when you're dealing with certain types of figures. And so they sent me all these figures to crack open for them. Like, paid me to crack them open. I was like, that's going to be pretty cool. But I figured it'd be fun to do like a series on like, hey, how to crack open one of these. I think I've done this before, but it was on a Pizza Spidey. So let me see what I've got in here to see. I want to see there's 5 figures in here, maybe 4. Okay. Looks like the blue Deadpool base, the Havoc base, vintage Havoc, Pirate Deadpool, a Kree, and 2 Gambits. I've definitely cracked open a Gambit before. Oh, cool. Since there's 2 Gambits, let's do a Gambit tonight. Let's see if we can do it tonight. Okay. So yeah, I was thinking about doing a whole deal of... Oh yeah, Mafix, Manta, and Arthur are both great. I've got some custom heads on my Aquaman from Clayton and Corey. They actually cast the Baron Ben's heads and painted them up like Aquaman for my birthday back in April, which was really, really cool. But yeah. Oh, that's cool, man. I actually canceled the Mando kit. I realized that I think I had just enough Mandalorian stuff. I got the SH Figure Art stuff. I missed out on the Mafex one, but I'm not just don't care. I haven't been seeing the greatest things about it, but I'm sure it's still fun. So if you guys, I'll end the night on this. If you guys want to crack open a body like so, a lot of times what I always do, actually every time, I go in from the bottom here, because if you're going to crack something open, at least it won't be, real visible. So a lot of times what you want to do is you want to kind of check around, see if you can't find a seam. Sometimes if there's even like a little hole or crack already filming, that would be awesome. You know what I mean? Like, then you can just crack that open, and usually it's a lot easier. But sometimes these heat press things can really be a nightmare. So here's what we want to do. We want to try to find a spot that we can crack this open. I would love to put that old new 52 DCC Arthur head on Mafex. That probably work if the heads... You need a pretty big, a larger head for that body. Because keep in mind, I'm using a Mafex like head that's kind of big. Excuse me, Mezco head, not Mafex. But it's a big Mafex figure, man. It's fairly large. So what I usually have to do here is if I want to, I can either go in with my razor blade, but you don't want to like cut if you can avoid it, just because what's inside of here is like little pegs that are keeping this together. So it's okay to kind of find the seam with a razor blade a little bit, but you don't want to go like too far in. You don't want to get too crazy here. But sometimes it'll actually allow you to split it, or at least give you a spot to start hammering in. I usually will use the, like I said, this small flathead screwdriver. Now I will have to use a ball peen hammer for this, so sorry if this gets loud. We'll see what happens. So what I'll do, take this. Let's see if I can't put it in through here. I'm trying to get this thing to... Let's see if that works better. Make sure it's going in along the seam with the seam. A lot of times you want to fold back this neck peg if you can too, to avoid from breaking it. There's really no like glorious way to do this that I've found. Just want to make sure that we're going in the right way. sometimes I'll go in just a little bit. I don't want to go too far in just because sometimes you can just knock a hole right through it and nothing come of it. So we're trying to see if this, it looks like it's working. Looks like we're starting to get a split in the seam, which is always good. That's what we want. I'm not sure where the pegs are located. A lot of times what I like to do is go in through both sides as well, just because it gives you a better probability of the seam cracking for you, which that looks like that seam was cracking, so that's good. I've had figures before where you can just, you hammer all the way down into them and nothing happens. It's insanity. Just would not. You have to end up like cutting them. Yeah, this is one of those ones where it's going to be kind of a punk. So we just knocked a hole in here and it doesn't crack open. And then over here on this side though, this side was cracking open. So since that didn't help us out over there, it's not going to matter. You're never going to see that. So now what you can do is get a larger flathead screwdriver. This is one of my favorites, man. This brand is like just awesome. Seems like Wiha, W-I-H-A, and it's a 260. It's really, really nice. Really strong. Perfect size almost for everything I need. Cracking figures, man. Part of the business. Part of the fun. Let's see if I can't get the, man, this guy is like, this is the worst part. So the worst part about that I always run into is like trying to crack open a figure, because it's like you have to hold them weird. You have to make sure that they're gonna find like a decent like point where this will actually go in to it and not just bounce around. I know that probably sounds a little confusing, but just finding that good sweet spot to where it'll actually stop bouncing around on you. This is one of the tougher ones because it's like got that like kind of jelly plastic, the sparkle plastic in there, I guess you'd call it. Man, I would say I'd do a tutorial over this, but it's not wanting to crack for me. Sometimes these things are really hard, really, really hard to crack open. You also want to be careful if like you're using a razor blade, like where it goes as far as like digging in through the top here, because you can dig down and cut the abs with it, so you have to be really careful. Man, this thing is really just being a punk. See if we can give it a good hit here and I think we're getting in there to it, getting through to it. Man, do you hear that? That's like, that plastic is fighting. Trying everything to like not crack for us. Well, we got the bottom done. So here's what you run into a lot of times is when you're cracking open this torso here from the bottom. If you're not careful, you can end up like stretching the plastic, trying to pull this apart. These things are, they pop apart kind of funny. A lot of times you need to go push it forward and then pop the back out if you can. But either way, you're gonna have to apply like an amount of pressure that's like just very uncomfortable to do. Personally, I'd like to get this out first. A lot of times though, with the, like say with Gambit here, he's kind of a special one, and here's why. You can actually remove this top here, his little weird bib thing, with just like hardly any pressure too. Like, I think you need to kind of semi be careful with it, but from what I remember, the only part that gave me any trouble was like around the, I want to say that front area that's kind of tucked in. And then looks like a little back here, there's like a little adhesive. But the reason why this is great though, on this particular one, is because you can like just hammer down, if of course you're planning on using this bib again, you can just hammer down right here, which I don't know if they are planning on using that, so I probably don't want to take it off. Just in case. But we do want to be careful. There's no real, the problem is, it's like sometimes there is a quick way to do this, and sometimes there's not. And it all is going to depend on how the plastic was put together. And sometimes you get one that's easier to crack, and sometimes you get one that's kind of like this one that's, it's not damaging itself, but gosh, man, if you were in the wrong hands, this could definitely be a job. I'm trying to be able to get like under here. I know there's like a peg that runs all the way across. A lot of times too, if you're feeling bold, you can grab some needle nose pliers coming through the bottom, kind of to help you pry that loose if you need it. Yeah. Let's make sure this fits back together. That's our main concern. Looks like maybe it got a little crack, but we can put that back together, no problem. Looks like it's just a little piece right here that's hidden. Yeah. Goes right back together. If you get any stress marks on these too, you can just run a heat gun over them, and the stress marks will go away. These right here usually are a little, these can be, like I said, these can be very easy or extremely problematic. That's the worst. It's like you kind of never know going in with these. And especially, like I said, this jelly-like plastic stuff is super finicky. It's like kind of soft almost. So it's like trying to get it cut. You have to kind of follow the seam that's on the inside here. So it's like try to get right on it. And just follow it down, but carefully follow it down so it doesn't like break free and you cut yourself or you go too far and cause a problem. Oh boy. Yeah, the top of the torsos is the worst. Easily the worst. But we can kind of, just want to be real careful because this is visible now. Like this is, even though you're on the inside of it, it's still very visible. And it's not, now you can't just take if you were to take pliers and go, my God, I cannot find the camera, to try to open them up like so, like just by sticking it in here and maybe pulling, and this thing will just bend. It will just bend on you. It's really weird. Like this plastic is super finicky, and it's weird because it's like just this odd mix in between the really sturdy plastic and the super soft. But Marvel Legends, man, I don't know. I've been kind of falling out of Marvel Legends here lately. There's been a few movie ones that I've really liked, like the MCU stuff, but other than that, God, the comic stuff has been really lacking for me. I've been really upset that they keep seeming to like get rid of freaking butterfly joints. It's crazy. Julian, no, this is not the first time I've had to take things apart, actually, instead of putting them together. I have done this. I want to say I did this for somebody before, but I think it was part of an order. It was like, hey, could you also like remove this while you're at it? And I'm like, oh yeah, sure. So. Man. Yeah, gambits are not fun to take apart. I definitely took apart one of these though before. I'm not sure where he's at right now, but I was gonna try to do a light up LED head, and I got like a clear gambit head from Anthony's Customs, and that's what I was gonna use for it. And he hit me up every time. He's like, "Hey man, any progress on that head?" I'm like, "No, I never got around to doing it. Sucks." Man, trying to get this. I don't want to go too far deep in here. It feels like if I was to drive my razor blade down here a little bit, if you were to ever hit a razor with like a hammer, you need to make sure that you're on a very steady surface and do very, very, very careful hits. Otherwise, it can slide out from underneath you and cut your fingers off, and then you're going to the doctor. They're all mad at you. Don't need that in your life. Okay. Well, I don't know if I'm going to get this done tonight. I don't know if I want to work on this anymore tonight. It was a long day. But we're getting there. We've got something done on it. That's how to get the... That's how I always crack the torso or the lower abs. And same thing with the legs here. What I would do is come in from the top. Always come in from the top. If you need to make yourself a little notch somewhere, then go for it. There's nothing better than just kind of coming in through the top, and just usually what you need to do, and this is what I was talking about, like the hard part, is make sure that like the hard plastic at least is close to like the thing that's touching the ground, so whenever you're hitting, you're not bouncing up and breaking off your freaking pieces, you know what I mean? But yeah. What's up, Nick? Glad you're here, dude. Let's see if we can't crack this before we sign off tonight. So, dang, this whole thing's gonna be a job. Dang. Took this on thinking I was like, I could knock that out for you real quick. And now, here we are. Trying to crack this freaking thing open. And I'd like to say that I'm going to learn something from this one for the next one, but I'm not. The next one might open up. No problem. You never know. This is what I'm talking about. Like, so this is in 2 halves, and we've now put 2 holes in it right along the seams, and they did not break free. So we kind of just gotta play ball with it until it opens up. Just be very careful. This one's going to take some extra something. My screwdriver. Dang it. Made it a whole stream. Didn't drop anything till the very end. So what's probably going to happen here is I imagine I'm going to have to go in with like my razor blade here and just try to open it up that way. Kind of tired though, so not a good time to be playing with razors and hammers and stabby things. Not a good time. Well, cool. I'm glad we hopefully you guys learned something tonight from this. If you're nervous about sewing before, and now you know, well, it's not really, the simple stuff isn't really that hard. The intricate stuff like that you see in Mezco's clothing and stuff like that, not there. I'm not there. I'm never going to be there. But to fix a stitch or two, it's pretty simple. And there's some really great tutorials out there. Don't, you know, mine is just obviously watching that. That was probably the most simple thing you could ever do. Literally just put in a thread and you're good to go. So no big deal. Julian, what is your joke? We have to read Julian's joke at the end. Here we go. I got an email the other day on how to read maps backwards. Turns out it was just spam. So there you go. There's Julian's joke of the day. I hope everybody enjoyed that. I know Julian did. Huh? Look at the sign. Neat. So it's actually got peace sign, a heart, and a poop emoji. That was Christine. She said peace, love, and beep. And then there's a bomb and a monkey covering his ears, and then fire. I don't know why. These are the only emoji things. I didn't know it came with emojis, so that was neat. Also, I actually got it for Crewmaru Toy Mechanics, and on the outside of the box, it shows that there's one more space on here, and it still wouldn't have fit. It would have said Toy Mechanic. Would have looked like a weirdo. All right. Well, guys, I'm going to sign off for the night. Crewmaru, thank you once again for showing up. I know it's been a while. I know my updates have been a little laggy and not consistent. We are trying to get back into things. I think I overdid it there for a little while, and then the stuff with my mom just really kind of put me out. It was just exhausting. Just exhausting. 6 days in the hospital is no way to go through things. But anyways, thank you guys again for always tuning in and, you know, supporting me here. I like our crew. I love my crew. And I hope to see you guys next time. Same Toychanic. It's time to go to sleep. Same Toychanic channel, same Toychanic time. Y'all take care.